back to TKO Fight Sports. Our next segment, joined by legitimate mixed martial arts royalty in this country. Judo Olympian, Ultimate Fighter competitor, Ultimate Fighting Championship, I won't go as far as legend, but did beat a Hall of Famer, so you've got that one on your belt forever. Dan Kelly, welcome aboard.
Good to see you, Josh.
I said I'd go easy on the intro and I did not, so there we go. Dan, I want to talk to you first about UFC Auckland. You had a number of guys on that card that you cornered. Maybe we'll go with Jake Mathews first. Really decisive 3-round victory. Felt you had to dig in personally, that a couple of performances pre that, you know, Jake is excellent, but sort of struggled a little bit with over maybe the last 2 or 3 years. Needed a big victory, got it. What do you think of Jake's performance at UFC Auckland?
I was really happy with the first 2 rounds. The third round, his calf was chopped up a little bit. I think he needs to be a little bit fitter as well, potentially. But first 2 rounds, stuck to the game plan and was good, and happy to get the win. That's 2 in a row. It's 4-1 at welter. So yeah, he's 25 years old. That was his 13th fight in the UFC. Yeah, he's still got heaps of room to grow, heaps of potential, and I still think he can be a top 5 guy.
How the takedowns were a massive part of that fight, particularly when Jake ate a massive knee in round 2, I think it was, and the whiskers were really impressive. How well was that trained into the game plan of looking for the takedown, knowing that Emil was going to sit there and throw punches in bunches?
Well, we wanted Jake to be long and set the takedown up, and because Meek's very heavy on the front foot a lot when he was coming forward, and Jake times his takedowns really well, and his blast double is fantastic. So he did really well, controlled, because Meek's got a good guillotine, controlled off to the side. So he followed the game plan really well for the first 2 rounds.
Good. Vic, obviously UFC experience as well. Your reflections on Jake's fight and where you think he goes from here in his career?
Oh, you know, like as Dan said, you know, Jake's pretty young. You know, he's a 25-year-old kid, and with the fight, you know what I mean. He looked like he was fighting a very strong opponent. Emil looked pretty strong. You know, watching from the outside perspective, you know what I mean. It's tough when you have to grapple somebody that strong, and it looked like Jake. You know, by the third round, his cardio was dropping off a little. So, you know, with where Jake goes next step from here, yeah, it's not my call, you know, but see where the road takes it.
You want to make a call?
No.
For TV? Thank you, Vic Grujic.
I'm the last person that wants to, you know, try to, you know, predict any outcome of any fight or in a person's career, you know. So I just sit back and observe, enjoy the show.
I like it. Jimmy Crute, obviously, again, had a slip up a little while back. Wanted him to come back with a vengeance, and he really did. Got the Kimura, I believe, in round 1. Talk me through Jimmy's performance, and again, the game plan that came with that to get to that eventual victory.
Jimmy was almost flawless in that fight, especially when we saw how much smaller his opponent was. But the cage work and wall work he did was what we drilled for 10 weeks. How quickly he got in for those takedowns, how he didn't let the guy load up, how calm he was in exchanges. I mean, he's got Sam Greco as his head coach and striking coach, so I mean, you can't have any better than that. But especially after his opponent got up, Jimmy stayed very calm and just reset, got the takedown again, and just those little trips it's what we drilled for 10 weeks.
That was perfect.
That was very good.
Without putting pressure on you or Jimmy, how far can he go? Because it looks like he ticks all the boxes to be a genuine superstar, but how far do you believe that he can go in what is an incredibly talent-rich light heavyweight division in the UFC?
Look, the sky's the limit as well. I mean, he's 23? That was his 4th fight in the UFC. Sky's the limit. Him and Jake, it's really good that they're together training 3-4 times a week together because it's just going to push both their levels up. Granted, Jake, pretty much we've seen him grow up because they're in the house together with him. Grow up, but the fact that he's got a peer who can push along as well, the sky's the limit for both those guys. Good. No question.
Vic, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Congratulations. I think I've seen it since you were given the black belt,
Thank you.
So
Thanks
good work. The Kimura, walk me through it, the technique, the delivery, and how he eventually got that submission.
Well, again, Dan hit the nail on the head with Jimmy's performance. You know, the takedowns were just spectacular, and it was pretty much a flawless performance. Cage pressure, you know, props to Dan and all the work that the guys have been putting in with Jimmy to get the takedowns, and took him to the ground, and lots of control. And even in the commentary, you know, he was, I think he had the head-arm triangle, and he slipped out to side control by the look of it, and then gone for the Kimura, locked it up, and for a second it kind of looked like he was falling off, but had the base and was able to finish a Kimura, and yeah, it was a great finish. Fantastic.
To see where he goes from here, I mean, probably calling for a higher caliber opponent in the very near future, I would have thought. and scary for anyone who steps up and fights him. So
He's a big kid too.
he's a big boy. Look forward to seeing where Jimmy goes from here. Callan Potter. So Sunbury is in my veins. I love Cal. He's a great bloke. Started really well, I thought. Was right in that fight, and then I think it was the left that clipped him from memory. How is he doing? And I guess, how does Cal bounce back from here now?
Cal's very upset. So we've just spoken about two people who followed the game plan. Everything was going fine with Cal when he was following a game plan.
Yeah.
There was nothing in it where he was meant to trade.
Yep.
He got side control, got the takedown, decided to upgrade position a little bit too early. He's very upset and disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, Cal and I have been training together since I started MMA. So it hurt a lot to see that happen to him. You don't like seeing your mates get knocked out. But yeah, he didn't stick to the game plan. He decided to be a boxer again, and that wasn't ideal.
With all due respect to Cal and the utmost respect, is that something that's happened maybe too often for Cal, where he's got such good jits, his wrestling is excellent, his takedown is fantastic, his ground control is spectacular, but even in his domestic career around Australia, he got into these bloody brawls that were so fun to watch, but you're like, shoot, you can shoot. Yeah. Is it something that Cal just sort of gets the energy and the crowd start going and he just wants to sit there and trade big punches, or am I seeing things that aren't there?
No, you're probably pretty accurate, to be honest. It's a work in progress every single time we lead up to a fight is let's stick to the game plan. I mean, Cal obviously is a little bit older, physically probably isn't as athletic as some of the other guys, but that doesn't mean he can't.
No, not at all.
He can't, compete at that level and win at that level. It's possible, even up to about 40.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
No problem. But yeah, he needs to stick to the game plan.
Is he likely to get another Guernsey?
Oh, of course. He lost one, won one, lost one. He'll get another gig, and he had a 4-fight contract.
Yep.
Next fight will be the next fight will be the last fight on the contract, and he'll go out on his terms like he deserves to.
Perth a possibility?
I wouldn't say that it is. No.
Okay.
No. But that's not my call at the end of the day.
Good insights. Ben Sosoli at heavyweight again looked excellent, very light on his feet for a big guy. Had his moments in that fight again, got caught. Devastating to see. How's Ben doing, and your reflections on Ben's performance in that fight?
He's doing okay. Ben has a lot of work to do. I believe he can be a contender at heavyweight. He didn't follow the game plan either. He didn't do things that he normally does instinctively. It was very frustrating, heartbreaking to watch because I spend a lot of time with him, but well, he'll bounce back. I've already had contact already, and it seems positively he'll get another go.
Good.
Hopefully. So we just got to start again.
If you don't mind sharing, what was the game plan?
The game plan wasn't just to stand in front and get hit a lot. It was to cut angle. Normally he moves really well inside. So there was 3 or 4 things the guy could have done. The guy could have done what Greg Hardy did.
Yep.
Chop from the outside because he is a very good kickboxer.
Yep.
Try and go for the takedown. Combination of those, or trade. Now the trading was the one I was the most comfortable with because of the movement we'd been working with, weaving, head movement, and cutting the angle to make the guy square back up.
Yep.
And we knew that the guy would stand and swing like that. Unfortunately, it didn't go our way. I mean, that's the fight game. I mean,
well,
this is the top organisation in the world. That guy's had already 10 fights in the UFC, plus fought in the Ultimate Fighter house a couple of times. So he's not a beginner. He's not a startup guy. Like, he's had 2 tough matchups in the UFC with Greg Hardy as well.
Yep.
So he'll get another opportunity, but he won't be fighting until later in the year, maybe early next year.
Okay.
So, and I'll be making the call on that.
Good. Vic, obviously you've had great success in your career and also had the defeats as well, and you know what comes with that. So for guys like, Cal and Ben that are going to spend some time now and work out how to bounce back, what advice would you give to them, I guess, from an emotional perspective to get back on their feet and re-gauge, I guess, their career moving forward?
It's always a tough one, We've had our wins, we had our losses, and it's pretty much up to the call, as Dan was saying, with the coach. Mentally how a person can bounce back from things like this, everybody's different and individual's different, Some people take it a bit harder than others. Yeah. Some people just get straight back up on the horse and get into it and can find that thing to kind of re-stimulate their direction and guidance toward what they want to do and achieve next step of their career. So, everybody's different. I see where it goes,
A bit closer to home, so Resines Training Centre obviously flourishing, producing some excellent domestic fighters. Give us a high-level overview of where Resines is at the moment and what sort of calibre fighters you're producing at the moment.
We've got a really big group. Obviously, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's more of an open session.
Yep.
We've got guys coming in from 6, 7, 8 different gyms. We've got the guys who just train exclusively here.
Yep.
Our training group, as you saw, we've got 4 guys fighting in the UFC. On the AFC card, we'll probably have 3 or 4 guys. We've just started a boxing program up here. Obviously, the judo.
Yep.
We've got Olympians as well. So it's really busy at the moment, and yeah, just keep working away. It's funny because everyone shuffles at different times and they pop up or someone comes in. I mean, we had Sam Haywood recently joined last 6 to 8 months. He's been a fantastic addition to the gym, and he started training full time as well. Had Duke Didier move down from Canberra full time, although I've been coaching Duke and judo for a long time, which has caused a lot of my grey hair. Sarah Collins. So we've got actually, like, in terms of Sarah and Duke, because of the weight divisions they're in, Sarah's a 66 kilo girl.
Yep.
Her MMA debut, she beat a 2-time IMAFA world champion and dominated her, to be honest.
Destroyed.
The sky's the limit for her. I mean, she's 29.
Yep.
And in 3 fights, she could be knocking on the door of big organisations overseas straight away. Good. So exciting times, exciting times.
This is not a setup to completely destroy our producer again, but I know you're doing Wimp to Warrior at the moment. So it's not about Steve Howard. We'll talk about him a little bit later on, give him an all-time good smacking again. How is the Wimp to Warrior thing going, and what sort of enjoyment do you get out of working with sort of the grassroots athletes that are looking for a million different things, but they come to you to help guide them into the cage in a few months' time?
I love the program. It's really easy to sell and run something that you believe in, because there's so many different reasons why people do Wimp to Warrior. You know, it's successful people who want to test themselves in a different area. It's people who are down and out and really need it. It's people who want to do it for a bucket list item. And we get all these people in first thing in the morning. And for me, it's a great program. Great. The concept's fantastic. Fantastic. We've got, 26 to 28 people doing it.
4:30 starts, yeah?
Oh, 5:15, not that early. I mean, obviously
Steve's been
having a cry about it, but I love the program. Like, it's really, really fun. Really, really fun. And these guys, like last season, they had Ben, obviously, as a coach all the time. We had Jimmy through, we had Cal through, we had Jake through. Great. So this group will get that again at some stage if Ben doesn't hog all the sessions. But but it's a fantastic concept, and it clearly is good because it's worldwide. Like, it's everywhere in the world.
That's right, it's huge.
So the first time I was in contact with it was when I was in Ireland in SBG, and John Kavanagh asked me to run one of their sessions for him when I was over training at his gym.
Unreal.
And I was like, this is great. And I got contacted by Richie Craney when I got this is our 3rd season now. We'll run 2 this year.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
My final question, what's going on, where you at, what happens from here? Obviously, no pressure, and you can give me the whole no comment, but obviously, again, great career in the UFC, beat Rashad Evans, which is one of my favourite fights. Where you at? What's going on with Dan Kelly?
Well, obviously with the 4 guys I'm coaching in the UFC, plus all the other guys we're coaching who take up as much time. I've also got a girl who'll probably qualify for the Olympics as well in judo. I'm the national judo coach as well. I'm flat out doing that, and I'm getting fatter by the day. I need to lose some weight. My wife will never watch this, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So you wanted to hear. Not sure I can live with.
Not sure. I loved being in shape. I loved competition. These guys have got it very easy compared to what I used to do. Running a gym, training, coaching, and fighting as well. These guys are lucky to work 6 hours a week and do all that work. I'd like to think it's still possible at nearly 43, but
absolutely,
like I said, we'll see.
We will see is where we will leave this one. So first of all, thank you, Dan Kelly, for having us here at Resines Training Centre, Buckley Street in Footscray. Get down, do the training. Another Wimp to Warrior will be later this year, I'm guessing. So again, if you want to get involved, keep an eye on Steve Howard's videos. That'll give you really good insight in relation to what the program's all about. Later on in the year, get on board. Dan, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
And we'll be back after a word from our sponsors.